Today's workout is workout number 6 from the C-section recovery plan. This workout is designed specifically for my C-section mamas, and it's going to help heal and strengthen your body post-C-section. It's also great for anyone postpartum or anyone recovering from surgery or an injury. All you need is a mat. We'll work for 50 seconds and rest for 10. Let's get started. Hey mamas, welcome to workout number 6 from our C-section recovery plan. This workout builds on workouts 1 through 5 from the plan, so make sure you've done those first before moving on to this one. We're gonna work for 50 seconds, rest for 10, you work at your own pace, and we're gonna strengthen and rebuild that core. Let's start with our shallow breathing on our hands and knees. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Deep breath in, inflate your belly like a balloon. Deep exhale, deflate the balloon, pull that belly button in toward your spine, and let's go. Remember, it's shallow breaths. So you're keeping that belly button pulled in toward your spine, pressing through the hands. Relax your shoulders and keep that core super tight. Lots of pressure here. Working those deep abs. It's a small movement. Do you feel it? Last one. And rest. We're going to move on to our bird dog. So rest for a second. Arm and opposite leg are going to move together. Here we go. So front arm, back leg. Remember, engage that TVA like we did in the breathing. Belly button towards spine. And I want you to make sure your shoulders are over your wrists here. So that pressure is in your core. And then that's also gonna help you balance. If you're having trouble balancing, look at your positioning. It's probably off. Or you can go back to one of the first workouts where we do the bird dog, just the arms, just the legs. But I want you to focus not on how many reps you're getting, not on how fast you're moving, on control. So that arm goes to shoulder height, the leg goes to hip height, and they're moving simultaneously. So you can really feel that core doing the work here. Just a couple more here. And rest. All right, let's move on to our glute bridges. So this time we're doing a single leg bridge with a leg extension. So hands by your sides, we're gonna lift that front leg up, extend out to 45 degrees, bring it in and tap. Keep that leg up. We go up, out, in, tap. Now as you're moving that leg, I want you to think, keep your hip nice and high. Try not to move it once you get to the top. That's core stability work. We're driving through the heel, squeezing that glute, pulling the belly button in toward the spine. And again, don't drive up too high to where you feel it in your hip flexors or your low back. We want to keep that feeling, that burning sensation in the glutes, the hamstrings, and that way it safely is going to strengthen your posterior chain without overextending into that low back. Starting to feel those glutes burn, almost there. Adding that little bit of movement really helps with core stability. And rest. We're going to do the same thing, other leg. So reset that core, belly pulled in, opposite knee goes up, and we lift up, extend, bend, and tap. Really important to work on those glutes. Again, you know the core, the glutes are all connected. So everything is working together here to strengthen and rebuild your abs. We don't just strengthen and rebuild the abs in isolation. We've got to work all those muscles in the core. 10 more seconds here. Keep it controlled. And rest. We're gonna move on now to that supine marching. So reset that lower back, pressing down toward the floor, belly button pulled in toward your spine, and let's march. So we can do level 1, which is lift and lower, then switch, lift and lower, or level 2 where we switch mid-air. But If you're leveling up, make sure your lower back is staying down toward the mat and you're keeping your knee stopping directly over your hip. If you pull that knee in, it releases the pressure in your core and it's gonna feel really easy. That's what I call a waste of time. So we don't wanna waste time. If we're working out, it might as well be worth it. So keep those taps light on the toes, shins parallel to ceiling. And again, your core should feel nice and tight like you've got Spanx on. We are only about 10 seconds away here. Again, I'd rather you move slow and only get a few reps than move really quickly and not do very good quality reps. And rest. All right, we're gonna take it up a level. This time, both legs are gonna come up. We're gonna extend, bend, and tap like we did in the previous workout. So double leg lift, extend to the ceiling, bend the knees, and tap, repeat. So we up, straighten, bend, tap. You're gonna feel that pressure as you lower the legs. So make sure lower back goes toward the floor right here and right here. That's where you're gonna feel that load increase. Now, if it's too intense, you lower one leg at a time and you lift one leg at a time. Maybe you do a combination of both. There's no right or wrong way to do the exercises, just good technique. Couple more here. Last one. And recover. All right, we're gonna move on now to supine bent knee hip circle. So knees over hips, pull that belly button in, back toward the floor, and we're gonna push the legs out. We're gonna come open, make a little circle, and back together, knees over hips. So we extend out, go around, in, reset. So you can see I'm dropping my legs slightly toward the floor, about 45 degrees, making a little circle about the size of a bicycle wheel, not a super big movement. And as you push those knees forward, those feet go toward the floor, and then you're gonna feel that pressure increase in your abdomen. So press that low back toward the floor, you know the drill. Pull that belly button in toward your spine. And then control as you're bringing those legs around and together. You wanna decrease pressure, don't push the legs as far forward, just keep it close. You wanna increase the pressure, take those legs further to the floor and rest. All right, we're gonna move on now to an alternating leg drop. So legs come straight up to the ceiling. So we're gonna drop the front leg toward the floor. As low as you can go. If you can, tap the heel, bring it up. Back leg goes down, 2, 3, and lift. Now you move as slow as you need to go in order to control your core. It is not about how many you can do right here. It's about control, good technique. You know what I'm gonna say, keep that lower back pressing toward the floor. I feel like a broken record, but it's true. With all of these exercises where we're in the supine position, you wanna maintain that transverse abdominal engagement. And if this is too difficult here, you bend the knee and then you go to the little taps. That would be like the reverse marching that we've done in previous workouts. And rest. All right, we're gonna move on to our standing portion, the good morning. So come onto your feet, feet under hips, arms across your chest. We're gonna push those hips back. Back comes parallel to the floor, stand up, squeeze those glutes. Now we're doing this one in every workout. Why? Because it's a great workout for our back body. That posterior chain tends to get really weak. The front of the body tends to get overactive and tight. So we wanna work those glutes, those hamstrings, the back, those postural muscles. So we wanna keep the shoulder blades back and down, keep the chin tucked, and it's a nice stretch for those hamstrings. Which if you've done my videos, you know I have super tight hamstrings and I'm not very flexible. So I need to do stuff like this, like 5 times a day. Weight is in your heels, and again, hips finish in neutral. We wanna keep that work in the glutes. Couple more here. And rest. Okay, we're gonna move to that deep squat with the reach. So feet come wide, toes turn out slightly. If you've got the flexibility, we're gonna reach and touch that floor. Shoulders back and down, abs tight, here we go. Squat down, stand up. Again, slow and steady here. You can pick up the pace if you've done this a couple times. You're like, I know I can maybe take it up a level and speed up, go for it. But I want your weight in your heels. I want that chest up, shoulders back. If you're starting to do this, I want you to correct your posture or don't touch the floor. Go as low as you can without hunching over. We don't want to round that spine. That is cheating. You're not getting the work in your legs. You're getting it in your spine. Trust me, if you've just had a baby, you don't want to work your spine. Anybody, you don't want to work your spine, but if you've got a baby, you're breastfeeding, you're carrying, you're rocking, your back is already getting a lot of work. So we want to make sure we strengthen it, not add to the burden. Couple more here. Squeeze those glutes at the top. Last one. And we rest. All right, we're moving on to a triple pulse squat. So we're gonna drop 3 pulses and stand up. Hands can come in front of your chest. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze those glutes at the top, driving those knees out. Now, if you want to, you could touch the floor here in those pulses. Ooh, almost fell back on that one. So it's gonna take a little more flexibility. It's gonna increase that load in the hips. So only go here if you're ready. You can always do a modification and not squat as low as well. That would be a good modification, just come a little bit higher. It's a long interval. But you guys, we've done 5 workouts so far. We gotta challenge those lower body muscles. So we're doing it today. A couple more. Last one. Went a little bit over. You're welcome. All right, moving on to the lunge portion. So triple pulse lunge. Pick a leg, any leg, step it back, and pulse. 3, 2, 1, stand up. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze that glute. Front heel pushes into the floor right here. Squeeze. Drive that front knee out over the middle toes. Front thigh parallel to the floor. Back knee should almost graze the floor. Now again, think about your posture. Chest up, shoulders back, belly pulled in. What more can I say to fill the time? Nothing, just go with it. It's gonna burn on this one for sure, but it will be worth it. Great work for the glutes and the core here. Almost there. Last one. You can go over time if you want to finish your rep. Never hurt anybody. Other side. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, squeeze. You probably noticed the last couple workouts we're starting to build that intensity. So if you find that 50 seconds is just too long of an interval for some of these exercises, you can always shorten that interval. It doesn't have to be the full 50 seconds. You can take more breaks than I'm giving you. You can take longer breaks. It's all about listening and respecting what your body is ready for. And that might not be triple pulse lunges, but try it. You never know till you give it a shot. Maintain that good technique, come on. We're almost there. I want that front leg parallel to the floor. Squeeze that glute. One more. And rest. Okay, we're moving on to that inchworm. You know this one, back of your mat, feet wide. We're gonna move through that squat, go to the hands and knees. Let's go, drop the hips, crawl it forward. Knees can touch or not. So in the last exercise, the last workout, I showed you that option to go to the bear plank. So your knees just barely hover about an inch or 2 above the floor. If you're not ready for that, tap those knees, take a rest as long as you need to on the floor. But I want you moving through that squat. Drop your hips, not your chest. Back through those hips. So that chest is always proud. That way, we're not, again, taking that work into the lower back. And make sure if you're coming into that hands and knees position, when you're coming there, whether you do the bear plank or not, your shoulders should come right over your wrists. So you get that core engagement right here, and you're using that core to bring you back up. Rest. Okay, we're doing that clam lift again, so come onto your right forearm. This time we're gonna keep the hips up, so hips in line with elbow. Lift the hips, open and close. So we're keeping our hips up. If you're not able to do this, You can drop the hips, lift your waistline, open and close, or you can do one lift, open, close, drop down. But I'm gonna challenge you, see how long you can keep your hips off the floor. Pull that belly button in toward your spine, lift from the underside of your waist, squeeze that glute, push through your arm. Now I want you to make sure your shoulder is stacked over your elbow and your shoulder's pulled away from your ear so you're not collapsing into that shoulder. And breathe. I do a lot of talking sometimes, so don't forget to breathe. It's more challenging to keep those hips up, but you got this. 8 seconds. Keep those heels together and recover. We're gonna move to our final exercise, clamless, other side. Elbow in line with hip, in line with heels. Lift, open, and close. And you want that arm, the bottom arm at 90 degrees. That's gonna protect your shoulder and give you some leverage. So it's gonna help you lift those hips, help your core engage. It's all about the foundation. If you've got a shaky foundation, it's not gonna go very well during this interval. But if you've got a good foundation, you're gonna get those benefits in your hips, your shoulders, your core, all of it together. It's a full body exercise. Got 15 seconds left. Stay the course, we're almost there. Relax those shoulders. Last 5 seconds. And rest. There we go. Workout number 6 from the C-section recovery plan is done. We've got 4 workouts left. I'm sorry. Yes, 4 workouts left of the plan. Can you tell I have a newborn and a toddler? I can't count anymore. But thank you guys for joining so far. Let me know what you think in the comments and stay with us. We've got 4 workouts to continue to rebuild and strengthen that core post C-section. I'll see you back here for workout number 7.